This is an explanation of the vocabulary from Reading 2, Unit 4, Reading 1. So let's look at these words. The first word is compete. It's a verb, and it means to try to be more successful than someone or something else. So, for example, soccer teams compete to win the World Cup. Also, companies compete to attract more business. The second word is crowded. It's an adjective, and it means very full of people or things. So the streets are crowded. Sometimes the subway is crowded, or the train or bus can be crowded. It means there's many people. Okay. Next we have decline, which is a very important verb that means to go down or to decrease. So we hope that the coronavirus cases will continue to decline, or the use of public transportation declined after people bought more cars. Efficient is an adjective, and it means quick and effective. It means a good way of doing something. So, for example, if I ask my children to clean the kitchen after dinner, it will take them, I don't know, like 1.5 hours or 2 hours. But I can do it very quickly, 30 minutes, because I am more efficient. Okay? Sometimes we think about our car being efficient. It means that it doesn't use too much gas. The next word is encourage, which is a verb, or encouragement, which is a noun. So encourage means to give support or motivation to someone else. So does encouragement. So you could say, my sister encouraged me to go to school. I really appreciate the encouragement of my family. Energy is a noun, and it's a source of power, such as fuel, for driving machines or providing heat. So there are many different types of energy. Like this is wind energy. A lot of energy comes from coal or gasoline. Location is a noun, and it means a specific place where something is. So Harper College is in a good location, or I like the location of my apartment. The word narrow is an adjective, and it means the opposite of wide. So in the reading, they were talking about the streets in Europe are narrow. It means they're small. We have another noun and verb pair. Operate is a verb, and operation is a noun, and it means to make something work. We also have operation means like a surgery, but this one means to make something work. So do you know how to operate the printer? Or do you know how to operate a motorcycle? Next we have pollute, which is a verb, and it means to make water, air, or soil dirty or harmful. So cars sometimes pollute, or factories pollute the air. A system is a noun. It's a group of things, pieces of equipment, or others that are connected and work together. Maybe you have a system of studying. And finally, a tunnel is a noun, and it's a passage under the ground or through a mountain that looks like this. We discussed the reading chapter 4, unit 2 vocabulary. So since we discussed the unit for reading 2 vocabulary in class, now I'm going to talk about unit 4 reading 3 vocabulary. Okay, the first word is a verb, and it is avoid. It means to stay away from a person, place, or situation. The example says, I hate math, so I always try to avoid taking math classes. We could also avoid a person, like if you don't like your neighbor, maybe you avoid her. You try to stay away from her, okay? Maybe you try to avoid certain foods. The second word is ban, a very important word. It's a verb, and it means to stop something or say that you cannot do it. So colleges in Illinois will ban smoking in July. We can also, so ban smoking is an example. It means they said that nobody can smoke on the colleges. The next word is break. It's a noun, and it's an equipment that, like this, it makes something stop. So it can actually be a noun or a verb, but in this case it's a noun. The car in front of me stopped suddenly, so I pushed on the brake. That's the brake. Next, we have conversation, which is a noun. It is a talk between two or more people, and it's usually informal. Having a conversation with your neighbor is a great way to practice speaking English. Harper College has conversation classes. The next word is distraction. It's a noun, and it means something that stops you from paying attention. Cell phones are a big distraction when you are driving. Cell phones also can be a distraction when we are studying. Our children can be a distraction when we are studying. The next word is estimate. It's a verb, and it means to guess the size, cost, or value of something. I am not sure, but I estimate there are 500 beans in that jar. Okay? I estimate that I met with 20 students this week. I'm not sure exactly, but more or less. Injury is a noun, and it means the physical harm or damage done to a person or animal. After she fell on the ice, she had an injury to her ankle. So it can also be called hurt, but usually it's something that happens. Lead to is a verb, and it means cause something to happen. Eating too much sugar can lead to health problems. Smoking leads to cancer. Miss, which is a verb, it means to not be present at an event or activity. I couldn't leave the country, so I had to miss my sister's wedding. I might have to miss class when I am sick. Next, we have obey. Obey is a verb, and it means to do what you are told to do by a rule, person, or instruction. She tried to teach the dog, but the animal did not want to obey her. We usually want our children to obey us. Recommend is the last one. It's a verb, and it means to say that something would be good. Do you recommend your extensive reading book to other students? Is it a good book to read? Maybe you have a doctor that you recommend or a restaurant that you recommend. So that's an explanation of the vocabulary words, and now we're going to do a little more practice with them. This is a continuation of the vocabulary practice that we were doing in class on Monday. So let's see how this vocabulary practice works. This is a difficult one because we have two spaces. So we have to choose two words. So let's read it. That if the city builds more bicycle lanes, more people will ride their bicycles to work, and traffic will. So both of these are verbs. We know that because we have I blank. So that this is the subject I, so we need a verb here. And after will, after all the modal verbs like will, can, could, should, we need a verb. So in fact, everything that we see here is a verb. So this sentence is about if the city builds more bicycle lanes. If the city builds these lanes, more people will bike to work. Okay, so let's think about this sentence. So let's try the first one first. I compete. That if the city. So compete means to try to win something. I don't compete. There's nothing about competing here. It doesn't make sense. I predict that if the city builds more bicycle lanes. Predict means to say what will happen in the future. So this one is possible. Number 3, I separate that if the city builds more bicycle lanes. Well, separate kind of makes sense because the bicycle is separate from the cars, but it's not something that I do. We can't say I separate, so we don't want to use that word in this sentence. I create. I create. No, I am not creating if the city builds more bicycle lanes. So with I, we really need to say I predict. So let's see if the second word fits. More people will ride their bicycles to work and traffic will decrease. That makes sense. That means traffic will go down because more people are riding bicycles. Could we say traffic will operate? No, we could say a car will operate, but not really traffic. Can we say traffic will ban? Traffic doesn't ban. The government can ban traffic, but traffic doesn't ban. And traffic will separate, maybe, but it doesn't make sense with create. So the correct answer here is number 2. Okay, let's keep going to the next one. You can use your phone to find the of the restaurant. Here we have the word the. of the restaurant. So after the, we need a noun. All of these are nouns, so that's correct. So is it the location of the restaurant, the system of the restaurant, the rate, or the tunnel? This one is pretty clear because we know this word location because we use it always to find where we are. Sometimes we share our location. It means the place where the restaurant is. It will be difficult to find a to the problem of traffic downtown. So look at all this traffic downtown. Here we have a, so after a or the, we need a noun, and all of these are nouns. So it will be difficult to find a concern. So a concern means something we're worried about or a problem. Do we need to find a concern? It will be difficult to find a solution. A solution is an answer to a problem. So a solution to the problem of traffic downtown, maybe. It will be difficult to find a distraction to the problem. I don't know if we can really have a distraction to a problem. A distraction is something else that takes our attention. It will be difficult to find a system to the problem. So system means like a method or way of doing something. So probably, maybe system seems possible, but I don't know if we have a system to a problem. I think the best answer here is number 2, a solution to the problem. So remember, problem and solution are like opposites. We have a problem, and then the thing that fixes the problem is a solution. So it will be difficult to find a solution, number 2. When we got our driver's licenses, we watched a video to us to wear our seatbelts. So this one I didn't put any choices, but if you want to think about which word it is, pause the video and wait, look through your choices. And this word is actually going to be to encourage us to wear our seatbelts. So the video encourages us to wear our seatbelts. It means motivates or tries to push us or make us do something, but in a positive way. So right now there are many advertisements, many videos online, on the radio that encourage people to wear a mask or to get vaccinated against COVID. This video encourages us to wear our seatbelts. So those are the main parts that we studied in the vocabulary. And in the next video, I'm going to show you a practice vocabulary test that has multiple choice and writing sentences. And I will help you to see how to do that.